Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV. Back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. Before we get into the topics of tonight, if you guys could please hit the like, please hit the subscribe button. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,100 mark, about to hit that 3,200 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. We're going to be talking about 3 ways that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford can defeat each other come September 13th. Then, of course, we're going to get into some open boxing topics. You feel what I'm saying? We definitely going to have a hardcore boxing conversation today. So for those of y'all who are casuals and rather talk about Gervonta Davis's braids or, you know what I mean, how much money another person getting and who's the A side and all that, this ain't the type of conversations for you. You know what I'm saying? But if you are a casual and are looking to become a hardcore boxing fan or actually be informed about the sport, then look no further. You see what I'm saying? Y'all definitely hit the likes. Let's get the algorithm on the up so the people know that Mazuma TV is live. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Shout out to Shay in the building. What's going on? What's going on? Gotta see if these notifications get sent out. We about to have some great conversations today, brothers and sisters. How's everybody doing overall? Let me know. How's everybody doing overall? Solo Taino, what up? How we feeling, brother? Appreciate you coming by and showing love. Coffee Plant is in the building. Coffee, where you been, man? Where you been? Let me find out, man. You fucking with some hoes and you forgot about Mazuma TV. Let me find out, man. Where you been, man? You changed the profile pic and everything. What you rebranding, brother? What's going on, man? Talk to me. You don't hit me up personally, so I'm trying to figure out what's going on with you. Coffee don't hit me up, man. He keep that jab on me. He keep me on the outside. You feel me? He be like, man, just stay. Yeah, I mean, you my YouTube colleague. That shit, man. Stay back. And I'm like, bro, like, what's up, nigga? You like, stay back. Nah. Just YouTube. I'm like, damn, dog. I thought you was the homie. We've been rocking for, we've been rocking for, I don't know, like 2 years already. Just keep me away with this jab. He don't never hit me up. Yeah, I can't let you get close. Like Chael Sonnen, I can't let you get close. For those of y'all who watch The Ultimate Fighter, you know what I'm talking about. Coffee he got a strong jab. He whipped that joint. Bang. I'm like, damn, dog. I thought we was cool, man. He said, I'm tripping. You don't hit me up, dog. You don't hit me up on IG. Because I don't even know if you got an IG. You don't hit me up on Facebook. You don't hit me up nowhere. No social media platforms. Twitter, nothing. That's crazy. I thought you was my guy. RC, what up? Agent 86, what up? So you ain't got no social media outside of YouTube, Coffee. Come on, man. But anyways, I hope everybody's doing well. Shout out to Agent 86 in the building. What up? Lamont A is in the building. What up? I hope everybody's feeling well. I had a beautiful day. You know what I mean? Woke up early, got some gym sessions in at Pivot Boxing Academy. You know what I mean? Spent time with my son, man. You know, we ate, we chilled. We took our naps together. You know what I mean? I had to drop him off to his mother's family. You know what I mean? I had to drop him off to his grandmother's house. Then I came back. I cleaned the crib. The crib is looking absolutely phenomenal. You know what I mean? It's about to be 2 years that I've been here, and my crib is still like in mint condition. I love it. It's beautiful. You know what I mean? Better get some social. What you mean? What you talking about? Shay 2631. What up? But yeah, man, we're going to get into some great conversations today, man, because I had somebody reach out to me personally, somebody I knew personally. I don't know if you want me to mention his name or not, but he was like, Mark, you should do a keys to victory for, you know, how both of these guys could win. You see what I'm saying? And I ain't going to lie, the boxing content just been really, really slow. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like things are at a standstill right now until Crawford and Canelo fight. And then after that, you know what I mean? I'm sure things will pick up with the promotion for the Devin Haney and Brian Norman card and stuff like that. But in the meantime, it's definitely slow. You know what I mean? He said even the windows shining. Not intentionally. I ain't even wiped these Johns down in a minute. That was probably my girl. But anyways, yeah, man, boxing content, the boxing world is real slow right now. Like we get some information here, some information there, but nothing worth really talking about for a good amount of time. You know what I'm saying? Solo Taino said, "Who you betting on though?" I don't know. I gotta tap in with my betting brothers, man. Shout out to my homies that be betting. You feel me? I did do a boxing pool. Like we got a boxing pool at the gym. You could pick, rounds that Terence, Crawford, or Canelo may possibly get knocked out in. Then you got the unanimous decisions. Then you got the draws. I bet on a draw. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, things work out well. Well, I'm not hoping for the draw. I actually hope somebody wins, but hopefully, if it is a draw, I get paid. You feel what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. We'll definitely see. J Cash, what up? Smoochie in the building. We got everybody in the building. Yeah, for the sake of the well, you got to take into consideration, Coffee. There was a lot of things that was taken already when I had pulled up when I went to go put some money in for the boxing pool. So the unanimous decision on Crawford and Canelo's part was already taken. So I'm like, damn, I don't know if I want to bet Bud to stop Canelo in rounds 1 to 12. I just don't see him stopping Canelo. That's just me personally. And then like there was rounds where like Canelo could have possibly knocked out Bud, but Canelo ain't get a knockout in a long time, to be honest with you. Even considering guys who moved up to 40. So I don't know if Canelo is going to get the knockout. I don't know that. So I think the draw kind of controversial, kind of risky, but I took the chance anyway because it can happen. It can happen. Trust me, it can happen. Especially if Bud actually edges out the fight, they might just rule it a draw just because it's Canelo. We done seen it happen with Triple G. Floyd damn near got a draw. The Floyd Mayweather and Canelo fight was a majority decision, I believe. So who's to say they wouldn't do that to Bud? Hold on, we getting a few before we get into this. Before we get into this, let's read a couple of these comments. He said, Marlon says you should do a technical breakdown for both boxers, Mark. In-ring analysis. Well, I'm doing the keys to victory, so I hope that's something close to what you are referring to, brother. I was thinking about doing a segment at Pivot Boxing Academy. I actually shot the idea over to my father, and he was with it. I just gotta get my tripod. My son broke my tripod, so I gotta buy another one. Once I get that tripod in order and all that, then we can get that going. You know what I mean? So we'll see. Smoochie said, I was watching Fulton interview on Fight Hub. He said he's never fighting below 130 again. You think he eventually make it to 35 and fight Tank? I highly doubt that, Smoochie. I don't think that that's a really realistic scenario, to be honest with you. I do think that eventually he'll go to 135 because he was already speaking on that when he was going back and forth with Oshaki in that press conference. So most likely it's possible. Maybe Stephen Fulton just either don't feel like cutting that weight no more, or his body, he just doesn't feel well when he's in the 120. So he's just listening to his body and moving accordingly. Now, do I think he fights Tank? No, I don't think that that's a fight that Tank will actually look at. Well, he might actually look at that, but, I don't know how much Tank has left in the tank. You feel me? I don't know how much longer he wants to be in the sport. So I personally think he'll probably do like 1 or 2 more fights, and then Tank going to be done with the sport. That's what it looked like. So I'm not hanging my coat on Tank fighting anybody that's relevant in boxing right now. That's just me personally. I'm looking forward to Vargas versus Walsh. Good ass fight. Definitely a good fight. And it's kind of surprising that Vargas is taking this type of fight this early in his career, but that just goes to show. And the Vargas brothers, they definitely being moved cautiously. So I don't think they'll necessarily take a fight unless they believe in themselves or believe in their abilities to win the fight. Coffee says Tank's done after Jake. Definitely. Let's get a few more comments in here before we chop it up. We already 10 minutes in. God damn. Same interview. He said he wants the NUA rematch. You think NUA will move up to 130? Not for him. I don't think that'll necessarily happen for him. And I think Stephen Fulton knows that, which is why he had brought up a catch weight. But then again, if it's at a catch weight, Most likely it's going to be in the 20s. And Stephen Fulton said that he'll never be at the 20s. So it's something that he may want, but I don't know if he'll ever get that. You know what I mean? Just based off of both of these circumstances. Anyways, taking his time, moving up in weight. Fulton no longer wants to be in the 20s. So I don't think they'll be able to see eye to eye. He probably will do like a 128 catch weight because it is close to 30. But even then, it's like, why would NUA do that when clearly he's chasing world titles? You know what I mean? Or like he's targeting like the best guys in his division. That's what it looks like. So I don't know if NUA will really take the time to make that fight altogether. Like he has Nakatani. He could go up to 26 and fight a Nick Ball. He could fight he could probably take an Espinoza fight. Who knows? He might give Bruce Carrington a shot. Like we don't know. You know what I mean? We genuinely don't know. But there's so many options for NUA at 22 and 26. Why would he contemplate a rematch with Stephen Fulton? Especially if he knocked Fulton out. It wasn't like a close, like back and forth type of fight like the Nonito Donaire one where he felt like he needed to run it back. Nah, like I just don't see it happening. But shout out to Stephen Fulton for wanting that smoke. Stephen Fulton has always showcased a lot of courage, a lot of heart, a lot of belief in himself. So I wouldn't expect anything less from him. But I just don't see that fight happening. So anyways, let's get into this segment, man. 3 ways Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford can defeat each other September 13th. You know what I mean? I was going to do 2 separate videos and say 3 ways Canelo beats Crawford and 3 ways Crawford beats Canelo. But I don't really make videos that often. And to be honest with you, how the way my work schedule is set up and how busy of a man I am, it's going to take entirely too much time to make either one of those videos, especially with editing and things like that. So I'm going to leave this up to y'all, man, in the comments. Which one do y'all want me to address first? 3 ways that Canelo wins or 3 ways that Crawford wins? I'm going to leave this up to y'all. I got my notes here ready to go just to refresh my memory. I already know what route I'm going in anyway. Did I make a PowerPoint? No, this is strictly off the dome. It's off the this off the motherfucking brain, nigga. This off the cuff. Come on, Smoochie. What I gotta make a PowerPoint for? I ain't in college no more. And when I went to college, I dropped out. So what is we even talking about? The chat has spoken. Canelo first. Canelo first. All right, let's get into it. So when we looking at both of these, if first of all, before I get into it, I'm gonna just say as the fight is coming, I'm getting more and more excited. Pause. That sounded crazy, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? As the fight is approaching, it's gonna be here this Saturday. You know what I mean? 6 days away from the fight. I am very, very excited for this fight to go on. I'm gonna have some people over. We're gonna have a motherfucking fight party here. All that good stuff, man. There's some things that Canelo Alvarez is gonna need to do to be in the best position possible to defeat Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? And one of the things that I'm gonna say that he typically hasn't been showing lately, I think he's gonna need to bring this out of his toolbox. Because I know that whenever he decides to use it, it can be effective. This is jab. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez needs to bring a quality jab in this ring against Terence Crawford in order to have success, or at least have the most success possible, or put himself in the best position to win. Why? And to, further elaborate on the jab, he was like, oh, man, of course, it's the most important. Oh, it's the most important punch in boxing. Yeah, it definitely is. But what I'm saying is it needs to be a quality jab. A quality jab, not that bullshit that Canelo usually be doing where he rushed the jab just to load up on the hook. We need to see an educated, solid, technical jab. And it needs to be more than one. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly why, right? Because in my personal opinion, Canelo Alvarez is going to have to close the gap consistently throughout this fight in order to be successful offensively against Terence Crawford. I cannot see Terence Crawford. I cannot see Canelo Alvarez dominating this fight at long range, especially with the huge reach difference between the two guys, right? I also can't see him really dominating at mid-range. I just can't. You know what I'm saying? Because usually when Canelo fights at mid-range and fights that we've seen, like the Triple G fight, and things of that nature, he's gotten picked off with a good jab. He's a sucker for a good jab. So why would he even take the chance to even sit at mid-range, sit at long range when neither one of those ranges were really playing his advantage, in my personal opinion? You see what I'm saying? So For him to close the gap, he's not just going to be able to walk in without a jab and then, just have success with Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is too intelligent of a fighter. He's too good of a fighter to just think that you're going to walk in and not meet any type of resistance. You know what I mean? Especially with the mentality that Terence Crawford has. He doesn't fear anybody. You know what I mean? He's just not going to let you walk in. He's just not going to give you respect. He's just not going to shell up and let you punch on him. That's just not who Bud is. It's not in his DNA. There's some fighters that are like that. He's not one of them. You see what I mean? So Canelo Alvarez, for starters, is going to need a technical, educated, consistent jab, and it needs to be more than one in order to close the gap to have this be a close inside type of fight. You see what I'm saying? Ledef Connor says, Bud gonna have to stay long the whole fight. Exactly, and I absolutely agree with you, brother. And if I'm Canelo Alvarez, I'm trying to take away him fighting at a long range. We got to take that away from him if I'm Canelo Alvarez. So definitely a great comment there. You know what I mean? Agent 86 says he could use feints too. He could definitely use feints, but feints can only get you so far. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like let's say he does a foot feint or whatever. He could use that foot feint to get inside, but Terence Crawford could probably pick up on that and throw some punches in between. What's ultimately going to stop Terence Crawford from firing while Canelo's coming in is a consistent jab. I'm telling you, like that's what's gonna be one of the keys to success for Canelo Alvarez. Moving on. Just like I stated earlier, he needs to make this an inside fight. Throughout the course of these 12 rounds, Canelo has to do whatever it takes to fight this man on the inside. I think that Canelo Alvarez will have a lot of success with Terence Crawford if he makes this an inside fight. Like I said, at long range, I see that benefiting, Terence Crawford with the huge reach advantage that Terence Crawford has over Canelo Alvarez. I just don't see that happening. And Terence Crawford knows how to fight. He knows how to fight at long range, and he knows how to keep people at the end of his punches. So Canelo has to do whatever it takes, whether he's utilizing his upper body movement, whether he's utilizing his feints, like Agent 86 says, using his jab, like I said in my previous point. He needs to make this an inside fight. I think the more that he fights Terence Crawford on the inside, the more success he will have in winning these rounds. Great. Third one, and I'm gonna actually put 2 points together, so it's technically 4, but this is gonna be a compound point right here, man. I'm gonna say attack the body early for my third point, along with applying pressure consistently. Now let's break down the first one first. Attacking the body early. This is definitely something that Canelo Alvarez needs to do in order to be successful. This may be the most important key out of all of the ones that I had just stated, outside of the jab. You see what I'm saying? He needs to attack the body early. Why? Because for one, Terence Crawford has showcased great legs in previous fights. If you need to get a reference point, just go look at the Victor Postal fight. And I know that has been a long time ago. That was at 140 pounds. But if the man showed it in the ring once, you better believe he could do it again. You see what I'm saying? Especially when Terence Crawford hasn't really been showing any signs of Father Time catching up to him. I think it's safe to say that his legs are going to be on full display September 13th, and he's definitely going to be using them in order to be successful against Canelo, because we see historically movers give Canelo Alvarez problems. So you want to take the legs from Terence Crawford. Not only do you want to take the legs from Terence Crawford, but you also want to slow this man down when he already has additional weight on his body that he's not accustomed to in a professional boxing bout. So if you're Canelo Alvarez, you definitely want to attack that body. Let's see how in shape Terence Crawford is. We've seen you in shape at 35. We've seen you in shape at 40. We've seen you in shape at 47. We've seen you in shape at 154. We have not seen you in shape at 168 pounds. You see what I'm saying? This is essentially Terence Crawford's walk-around weight that he's going to be fighting at. So because of that, we need to see how in shape you are. And if Canelo Alvarez attacks the body consistently throughout this fight, Terence Crawford may be in trouble in those late 2 championship rounds. So those are the 3 points right there. If I'm Canelo Alvarez, I wouldn't really overcomplicate anything. You know what I mean? I think Canelo understands the advantage that he has in this fight, and I think he's understanding of the uphill battle that Terence Crawford is facing in this fight with him. You see what I'm saying? Terence Crawford's never been hit by a fully acclimated 168-pound fighter. He's never fought at this weight overall, essentially moving up 3 weight classes, because Terence Crawford said it out his own mouth. I'm technically moving up 3 weight classes because he didn't even get the time to fully acclimate the 154. Canelo Alvarez understands all of this. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford may be a physically strong guy from what I've heard, but, he hasn't faced somebody with the size and the strength advantage that Canelo Alvarez has in this fight, right? So, I said all of that to say those are the 3 things that Canelo Alvarez needs to do. He's experienced. He knows what he knows what Terence Crawford is lacking in, specifically. He's lacking in the experience department, and he just needs to show him what it's like to fight at that weight class. You see what I mean? And if he's able to do those 3 things consistently throughout the fight, he may possibly be the victor September 13th, right? So we address the 3 things. Quality jab, and make sure that it's more than once to offset Terence Crawford's counter-punching ability. You see what I'm saying? So that's one. Of course, you want to find your way on the inside, and one of the best ways that you could do that is by doubling and tripling up on your jab, stepping in, hands and feet together, stepping in behind your jab. And then after that, you're able to be Canelo Alvarez and rip them hooks and, you know what I mean? Just impose yourself from a strength aspect, from a pressure fighter aspect, whatever you want to call it. You want to make this an inside fight. I can't see Canelo Alvarez dominating at long range or mid range. To be honest with you, I think both of those ranges will play in Terence Crawford's favor. So you want to make this an inside fight. Then of course you want to attack the body early and apply pressure consistently. The more pressure you apply on Terence Crawford with that additional weight that he has on his legs and his body overall, fatigue is bound to happen, in my opinion. So those are the 3 keys of victory for Canelo Alvarez to possibly defeat Terence Crawford on September 13th. Now, here's the other side of the coin. 3 ways that Crawford can defeat Canelo Alvarez September 13th. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Shout out to Mr. Jannar Hill. He says, salute Mazuma. Your thumbnail crispy. I try. I'm not able to make thumbnails all the time, but I definitely am getting better at it, and I appreciate you acknowledging that, brother. Thank you. Lad F. Connor says, as long as Crawford stays disciplined for 12 rounds, he shall win. Now, I'm going to tell you this. These 3 keys to victory are easier said than done. There's multiple factors that I'm not taking into consideration. Terence Crawford could, God forbid, but he could probably have an injury. He could be overtrained. So, there may be factors in the way of why these guys are not able to perform these things and why it may be more difficult than what I'm making it seem like. You feel what I'm saying? There's factors that's involved where they might not be able to do these things. Shit happens. It's boxing, right? So easier said than done. This is not me making it seem like either one of these guys are a layup. This is going to be a highly competitive match. And both of these guys are elite level fighters, whether we like them or not. You see what I'm saying? So let's transition on to 3 ways that Terence Crawford wins. I'm going to provide the first point for you guys right now, and this: be a moving target. Be a moving target. I don't want to see no situation, and I know that people are in Crawford's ear saying, don't do no Tom and Jerry fights. Don't do no Tom and Jerry fights. And I see people saying that. I seen this interview with Fernando Vargas where they were saying that, this is good. I think Jose Benavidez Sr. said it was going to be a Tom and Jerry fight or something like that. Don't play to any of those. Don't play into any of those opinions. Don't feel like you got to prove yourself to nobody. Because one thing they do say is that pride is the devil, for one. So if you let your pride get involved with this and try to show something to somebody, you may ultimately fuck yourself over, right? But Terence Crawford is a stubborn dude. He don't typically listen to people, so I believe that he's going to do whatever he feels is best. So his stubbornness may play to his advantage in this situation. So you want to be a moving target. Obviously, we've seen fighters in the past that have been moving targets to Canelo Alvarez, and they end up being his toughest fights. Landy Lara, for one, who I believe to this day defeated Canelo Alvarez. Floyd Mayweather was a moving target throughout the course of that fight. Canelo Alvarez had a hard time catching up to him. And his most recent bout, William Skull, who may have moved quite excessively. He didn't have it was more of him being a moving target than, creating offense. So I think that's why he lost. But even in that Williams Skull fight, you've seen Canelo had a tough time catching up to him. Also, when Caleb Plant decided to use his legs in the fight, he gave Canelo Alvarez trouble as well. So we all know with Canelo Alvarez's slow feet and his trouble with cutting off the ring due to his slow feet. If you have quicker feet than Canelo, you could give me some trouble. And I personally believe that Terence Crawford has quicker feet, and I think he has great footwork whenever he feels like using it. And I think he needs to be a moving target to really frustrate Canelo. In my personal opinion, that's one of the keys to victory that I got for Terence Crawford right here. Another one. And this is the same point that I had put for Canelo Alvarez. You need that sledgehammer jab. And I call it the sledgehammer jab because that's what Bomac and them called Terence Crawford's jab in the lead after the Errol Spence fight. You need that sledgehammer jab. When we look over Canelo Alvarez's career, he's always been a sucker for a good jab. We've seen it in the Floyd Mayweather fight. We've seen it in the Triple G fights. He has trouble with a great jab. Triple G has a great jab. To be honest with you, a lot of people don't really notice. I modeled my jab after Triple G. You see what I'm saying? And Canelo Alvarez has always had trouble with people who, had solid jabs. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely think with Terence Crawford having a great jab that he has, you know what I'm saying? I think that he could really use that to his advantage. Terence Crawford's jab is precise, it's pinpoint, it's powerful, good technique behind it, fully extended. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very, very sharp tool in Terence Crawford's tool in his toolbox. And I think that Canelo Alvarez will have a tough time getting his timing together, getting his range, as long as Terence Crawford is popping that jab. So far, we got 2 out of the 3 points, man. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. You feel what I'm saying? We got 27 people in the building. We need 27 likes. Let's get the algorithm on the up. I appreciate everybody that's timing, that is coming in and showing love. Now, the third and final point, and then we're going to talk about this as a whole. We're going to talk about Terence Crawford's timing is going to be imperative in this fight against Canelo Alvarez. His timing, the timing that he showcased in the Kell Brook fight, the timing that he showcased in the Julius Ndongo fight, the timing that he showcased in the Errol Spence fight, he's going to need to bring this over for Canelo Alvarez. You see what I'm saying? Now, what am I talking about? Canelo Alvarez has a tendency of being pretty predictable with his offense. When we watch him fight, especially when you go watch that Williams Skull fight, his most recent fight that took place in May, Canelo Alvarez throws very wide punches. He throws very wide hooks. Even when he hits the bag, he's throwing wide hooks. When he got people against the ropes, he's throwing wide hooks. It's just something that he does each and every time. He rushes his jab. He rushes his jab, which is a no-no, and my keys to victory for Canelo. And he loads up with big shots. Now, Terence Crawford is a very sharp counterpuncher. And the reason why he's a sharp counterpuncher is because of his timing and how the way he could shoot short shots in between wide shots. When we see Errol Spence have Terence Crawford up against the ropes and he loaded up with a big overhand, Terence Crawford has shot a nasty left uppercut right in between the shot and was able to put Errol Spence on the canvas. How did that happen? Because of Terence Crawford's ring awareness, for one, being aware of what his opponent is doing, and brilliant timing. You see what I'm saying? So when Canelo Alvarez, if Terence Crawford is going to take that chance and be up against the ropes, he's going to have to see what Canelo Alvarez is throwing, first of all, and throw short shots in between the wide shots. And anybody that's ever been in boxing knows that the straight shot or the short shot is going to beat the wide shot every single time. You see what I'm saying? So his timing is definitely going to need to be there to get the better of those exchanges with Canelo Alvarez. Because even though I'm telling Terence Crawford to be a moving target, there's going to be instances where Canelo may be able to successfully cut off the ring, or he might be able to get Terence Crawford to move straight back. He might get Terence Crawford on the ropes. So if that's the case, Terence Crawford is going to have to sit, see the shot, and react within a millisecond to get that shot in between Canelo's. If he's able to do that consistently like Erislandy Lara did, he could pile up the points, get the better moments of the rounds, and win those rounds. He could genuinely do that. So, and Terence Crawford, like I said, he showcased brilliant timing in the past. So I'm under the assumption that that's something that he's working on in this camp. I think his team notices that Canelo's throwing big, like he tends to load up on, big shots. So while he's loading up, throw some sharp shit in between. You know what I mean? Get the better of those exchanges. If you can land 1-2 punches while he's loading up an overhand, then it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that'll really do Terence Crawford some good in this fight. So shout out to Lad F. Connor with the $2 super chat. He said, who do you think will win the clinch game? That's actually a great question, brother. You know what I mean? Because both of these guys seem to be physically strong. Terence Crawford, he's known for being physically strong. When I seen him push Errol Spence essentially across the ring, that's what let me know how strong he was. When he moved up to 47 and he moved and how the way he was manhandling Jeff Horn, who pretty much was a bully and was bullying Manny Pacquiao all across the ring. When we seen Terence Crawford take his first fight at 147 and push Jeff Horn around like that, I was like, oh yeah, Terence Crawford is very strong. So I don't know how I know he's physically strong, but those were in smaller weight classes. I don't know how he's going to be able to be physically imposing on Canelo Alvarez, who's not only strong in his own right, but dealt with guys who are physically bigger than, Terence Crawford himself, and pretty much seem to be the more physically stronger guy. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. But with Terence Crawford having like a background in like wrestling and stuff like that, he may possibly have the clinching advantage because, he has, he got experience inside and outside of the ring with, knowing certain techniques that he could utilize in the ring to, and plus, I think Terence Crawford even got wrestlers who've been a part of his camp, like mixed martial artists that he's worked with in the past, that he probably done learn some things from. He could probably use those, like he probably could use some things in the clinch to, frustrate Canelo Alvarez or even have like some type of, strength advantage. I don't know. That's actually a great question. We definitely gonna see on the fight though. If I see Crawford in the clinch with Canelo and he's able to turn Canelo easily, I'm like, okay, so he's stronger than this dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually a great question. Shout out to Led F. Connor with the super chat and asking that great question. I obviously I don't have a definitive answer for that, but I'm gonna assume Terence Crawford because it seems like he has more experience with getting into those type of things. You see what I'm saying? Wrestling can play a factor in a fight if the other person doesn't wrestle. Out of Power says, got a feeling to be a draw like Triple G. Hey, man, that's funny that you say that because I was just saying earlier on in this live that they had like a boxing pool where like you put $10 and you could pick a spot. And if you end up getting it right, then you keep all the money that was in the pot. You feel what I'm saying? That people put in their bets. And I bet for the draw. You know what I'm saying? Because historically, Canelo Alvarez has always gotten like the benefit of the doubt from the judges. And I feel like if Terence Crawford wins like 7 rounds or even 8 rounds, they might find a way to make it a draw just so they could rematch and make even more money. I think the politics of boxing may play a factor in this fight. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying, man, my 3 ways Crawford wins. First one, be a moving target. Canelo has historically had trouble with movers. So if Crawford was to, utilize his footwork and showcase some lateral movement, you use his pivot to step around Canelo and keep making Canelo reset his feet, he could have a lot of success because also Canelo's not the type of dude who can punch and move. You know what I mean? Or at least shown that he likes to plant his feet and rip shots. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep Canelo's feet moving, you're less likely to be in danger. You know what I'm saying? Utilize that sledgehammer jab. Canelo Alvarez has historically had trouble with guys who had good jabs. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the Floyd Mayweathers, you know what I mean? The Triple G's, both of them guys got different types of jabs, but both good jabs. And Canelo had trouble with both of them. So you definitely want to bring that out the table. And then you also want to utilize your timing in this fight if you're Terence Crawford. You want to throw them short shots in between them wide shots and, you know what I mean, disrupt Canelo Alvarez's aggression. You want to offset, his body work. You want to offset his power punching. You know what I'm saying? And the only way that you can really do that is by either overwhelming him with volume or showcasing some great timing. And I was gonna put another key, for Terence Crawford in terms of like, outworking him, using volume. You know what I mean? Because Canelo Alvarez has historically had trouble with his stamina. At 168 pounds. You know what I mean? If you make him work outside of his pace, he does fatigue in those mid rounds. However, I would have been more comfortable with that if I actually seen Terence Crawford at the weight. So to be honest with you, Terence Crawford, that fatigue might set in with him as well. That may very possibly be a thing because with that additional weight on Bud, he probably doesn't have the conditioning that he had at 147, 154, 140, 135. So although I did want to put Crawford, you know what I mean, use your volume to overwhelm Canelo and make him tire out, we don't know if he's going to have that in his toolbox with the additional weight that he has on him. The more weight that you got on you, especially if you're putting it on, if you're packing it on, like, suddenly, you could feel fatigued. You could feel sluggish. These are things that can happen. So that's why I excluded that point out of the list. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know what gas tank Terence Crawford is going to come into the ring with. We really don't. We don't know how his legs are going to be. We don't know how his punching power is going to be. We don't know how his punch resistance is going to be. We don't know how his stamina is going to be. So how can I tell somebody to outwork somebody if they don't have the conditioning to do so? If I don't know what his gas tank is going into a weight class that he's never been in on a professional scale. You know what I mean? Go Get the Money said Bud team must get new judges. Tim Cheatham, Max DeLuca, and Steve Weisfeld. I need to do more research on the judges. George says, I saw the judges' names, and I think they are pro Canelo. Have you seen the judges that are going to call the fight? No, I actually haven't, but you just told me. I don't know if they're historically Canelo Alvarez judges. You know what I mean? But maybe Canelo Alvarez had to say so and who the judges are, because when you're the A side, you get to pick those things. I know that for a fact because I remember when Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd Mayweather fought, and Mayweather was running through pretty much everything that Oscar De La Hoya had control of, and the judges was one of them. I recall Tony Harris is saying that Jermell Charlo picked the judges for his fight because it was a Lions-only promotion. So maybe there is a possibility that Canelo Alvarez chose judges that favor him or his style. That just comes with being the A side, unfortunately. So I don't know. That's just, I guess you could just add that to the list of things that's going to be an uphill battle for Bud. Bud is going to be fighting a lot of things that night. A lot of people aren't really talking about it. You know what I mean? Ramon says Bud Crawford has to win decisively. I thought Aries Landy Lara won decisively, and they still didn't give it to him. I thought Triple G won the fight decisively in the first fight. They didn't give it to him. So it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know if winning decisively is enough when we look back at the history of Canelo Alvarez's fights. Floyd Mayweather won the fight decisively, and he left with a majority decision over Canelo. These are things that we got to take into consideration. I don't know if beating him decisively is enough to beat Canelo Alvarez that night. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know if Bud can knock Canelo out. And Bud already got in his mind that, he's not doubting his punching power or nothing like that, but he already got in his mind that he may possibly not knock out Canelo because he said a knockout is not the only way to win the fight. So he already got a scenario in his head where he like probably outboxing for 12 rounds if I can't hurt him. Because look at all the guys that hit Canelo. You seen that man get rocked one time and he was like in his early 20s, probably late teenage years. Probably was 20 when he got rocked by Miguel Cotto's brother. After that, you ain't even see him buzz. Now, we haven't even seen like him fucking worried in there or nothing. Motherfucker be eating like, bro, he got hit by Miguel Cotto, big puncher. Triple G, big puncher. James Kirkland, big puncher. Daniel Jacobs, respectable puncher. Dimitri Bivol, respectable puncher. Like there's a lot of things. What's up? You all right? Hold on, y'all. Somebody playing music. That's the music, y'all. My fault. He said Canelo chin is crazy. Pause. I mean, he got a granite chin, bro. He got a granite chin. He done been hit by some big punchers, and didn't go anywhere. Virgil Ortiz had a sparring story with Canelo where he hit Canelo with everything he had on the left hook, and Canelo just looked at him and said, "Eso." In English, that means like that's it, like good job. And Virgil was like, "What the fuck? Like I just hit you with everything I had, and you just shook it off." Like that could be discouraging. That could be discouraging. And I think Crawford already got it in his head where he's like, all right, probably won't knock him out, but guess what? That ain't the only way to beat Canelo. Because both times Canelo lost, it wasn't by knockout. And you can't tell Bud that he can't do something when he done seen it happen multiple times. Shout out to the boy Ledev Connor with the $2 super chat. He says, Billy or Lester, I can't make up my mind. I mean, that's understandable, bro. That's a fucking solid fight. Christian and Billy, big puncher. He lets his hands go. He's aggressive. Lester, he's much of the same. I ain't gonna lie though. Something's just telling me to go with Lester, man. Something just telling me to go with Lester. I think that Lester may have the better condition, and I think that's what's gonna play a part in the fight. I can see him Billy coming out strong. You know what I mean? Probably landing some good shots on Lester or whatever. But if that's not able to get Lester about the game, I just trust Lester's conditioning more. I do. I don't know. I might rock with Lester just because he may be in better shape that night. And Billy, the thing about Billy though is that his moment, and I always take this into consideration, like momentum is a real thing. Momentum is definitely a real thing. And if momentum could really help you in a way. Like with Daniel Dubois, I think his momentum helped him get that world title against Anthony Joshua. I think that his momentum got that. I think that if your stock is down or you coming off a loss or whatever, your next fight, I mean, depending on how the way your motivation set up, it might light a fire under you, or you may come into the fight questioning yourself and you might lose again. But if you win in, if you rack up 3 good wins, 4 good wins, 5 good wins, your confidence is at an all-time high. I think momentum and confidence go together. So Billy's confident right now. So, you know what I mean? He's on the cusp of fighting for a world title. He probably feel like Lester's just another opponent in his way. That type of mentality could really help. It could hurt you for underestimating somebody, but it could also help you because you think highly of yourself. You feel me? So I don't know. That's a tough fucking fight. I seen both of these guys rumble. I might just go with Lester, man. I might just go with Lester. My boy Anonymous said he got Billy. Let me see who else. I ain't seen nobody else see who they was gonna pick. But shout out to Ledev Connor with the $2 super chat. Let me see. It says Canelo a big favorite. No, he's actually not. He's not a big favorite. Let me actually pull up the Canelo Crawford odds and share the screen for y'all to see. Okay, current betting odds according to Google AI. Let me pull that up right here for y'all to see. I ain't making this up. Current betting odds show Canelo Alvarez is a betting favorite with odds such as minus 180 at DraftKings and minus 170 at BetUSA, while Crawford is the underdog listed at plus 145 and plus 140, plus 145 on DraftKings and plus 140 at BetUSA. These odds indicate that for every $100 bet on Canelo, a better will win 100, while a $100 bet on Crawford would yield $140. So Canelo is like a favorite, but it's not like no fucking crazy odds where he's like 7-1 favorite or Bud is a 10-1 underdog. Like, no, this is pretty close. These are pretty close odds, and that just lets you know that these odds makers, whatever you want to call them, they not too sure of who the fuck is gonna win this fight. And their main objective is to take your money, not give you any. So with that being said, everybody's pretty much feeling the same way, man. You can make a case that Canelo can win. You can make a case that Terence Crawford can win. We just not like it. Some fights just, sometimes the cookie crumble that way. Sometimes, we confident that one person may win a fight. Other times, we not so sure if somebody gonna win that fight. I genuinely don't know who's gonna win this fight. And it's really based on not knowing what the fuck Crawford's gonna bring into the ring. It's a lot of unknowns on Crawford's side. So, like, we seen Canelo there. We seen how the way he been performing. We know how he performs at that weight. We don't know what we expecting out of Bud. We don't even know what we would expect out of Bud at 160. We're not even too familiar with what he could do at 54. You telling us 168? Without a knockout, the draw is making the most sense. I just might bet the draw on DraftKings. I'm not gonna lie. I might just bet the draw. What's actually, hold on, I'll tell y'all right now. I got this shit on my phone. Why I gotta ask y'all? Let's check this shit out. I'm actually on FanDuel, not DraftKings. I'm on FanDuel, my fault. Where I have yet to win a bet. Let's check this boxing shit. Boxing. Canelo Crawford. Method of victory. The draw is plus 1,300. On FanDuel, a draw is plus 1,300. I might do that, y'all. I might do that. $10 wins you $130. So if I bet 20, I could get 260. That's worth it. Yo, Kobe, why you talking shit, man? You ain't telling the people nothing that I already told them. So why you putting salt on the wound? I already told them I don't be winning. So why you gonna go and put my actual record out there? 0-90. I got a Brian Norman Sr. record in betting. This shit crazy. I ain't even got a Brian Norman Sr. record on betting. He at least got a winning record. I got a losing one. God damn. This shit insane. But I already done told these people I be losing. Why you gotta rub this shit in? God damn. But anyways, plus 1,300 for the draw. That's something to look into, y'all. Y'all motherfuckers got some free money? Go ahead and put some money on the draw, man. Don't be surprised. I said this the other day, but I'm going to tell you what my pop said. My pop said that he believes that they're going to rob Canelo. I mean, they're going to rob Bud. My pop thinks that they're going to rob Bud. Now, obviously, that's a fucking bold take. That's my father for you. But he even told me why. He was like, I forgot what the fuck he said. But I think he said something like, yeah, they might rob Bud because, Turkey main goal is to get Hamza Shiraz to fight with Canelo. And if Bud beat Canelo, most likely Bud not going to fight Hamza. And I'm like, I'm thinking about that shit. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker might be on to something. Like, he said that. And I was like, damn, he might be right. You never know with this boxing shit, though. Sometimes they come through and give you the right decision. Other times, they fuck you over. You know what I mean? But maybe Bud stops Canelo. We'll wait and see. Maybe it won't go to the judges. But that draw is looking very enticing. I will say that. The odds look pretty good on the draw. I might bet it. I might bet 10. I might bet 10 on that. I might bet 10 on that. $10 win you 130. $20 give you 2 cents. I might bet 20. Fuck it. And if y'all gonna be betting, I don't, I ain't no big. I don't be gambling or nothing like that, all like that. But if y'all gamblers, y'all better make sure that y'all lock in on these odds before the weigh-in come. Because I guarantee you, when after that weigh-in, them odds is gonna look kind of crazy. Probably be even closer. Trying to tell y'all something good. He said bet 50. Damn, 50 might get me 650. Fuck. Man, you being a bad influence, man. I don't like spending money. I don't like spending money, man. We'll see. We'll see. Turkey told Bud to get the job done. Yeah, he did say that. 650 is a nice check. Yeah, it is. I might not even bet. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I might not even bet. I'm talking all this shit right now. I probably won't even do nothing. I'll see how I feel. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, that was a great conversation, man. 3 ways Canelo wins, 3 ways that Crawford wins. You know what I mean? If y'all appreciate that, please hit the like button. We're gonna get into our open boxing topics now, or we could just get into open topics in general. Shit, I'm stuttering all over the place today. It's crazy. But you know what I mean? Let's get into some open boxing topics. I'm gonna open the panel up for everybody that want to come through and chop it up with your boy. You know what I mean? What's on the people's mind? What y'all want to speak about? That's the link right there if anybody want to come through and chop it up with your boy, man. He said, I'll do street bets. Street bets could get a little treacherous. I'll stay away from them. I'd rather do the bet with the right folks, because the right folks, you know what I mean? They ain't going to do nothing crazy to you. The street bets could get a little, you know what I'm saying? Let me see. Solo Taino says, probably why Turkey was telling Crawford to not retire, probably set up a second fight. Draw. That's what it's looking like, bro. I might do it. Bro. My money looking, I ain't gonna lie though, my money looking kind of funny for these next couple weeks, you feel me? So I'll see. You know, I'm a hustler, so I'm gonna get some shit. I'm gonna get a couple dollars this week, especially tomorrow. I'm gonna get a nice couple dollars tomorrow, actually. So I ain't tripping, but damn. Yeah. My money looking a little funny, so we'll see. But what if you win? I mean, that's the mentality with a lot of gamblers. What if you win? Nigga, what if I don't win? I think about that too. Shit. My boy Anonymous said, yo, Rhodes versus Pitbull looks really likely. That's what I've been hearing, man. And look, Lamont Roach wants smoke, man. Lamont Roach ain't playing with nobody. Ever since he came off of that fight with Gervonta Davis, bro, he been wanting problems with everybody and their mom. You feel me? So I respect it. I respect his mentality. And that's a tough style matchup for Roach, man. That's a tough style matchup for Roach. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if that's the fight that he wants, man, that's gonna be a very entertaining fight because Lamont a dog. You know what I'm saying? Isaac Cruz, he a dog. Something tells me that Lamont Roach gonna try to prove something in there with Isaac Cruz. I don't think he gonna really try. I don't think he gonna be taking Isaac for a walk and trying to outbox him and you know what I mean, put on them Tom and Jerry type of fights that they call it nowadays. You feel me? I just can't see Lamont trying to like outbox him and staying away from his power. Like Lamont seemed like the dude who, you know what I mean, believe in his durability, you know, believe in his chin, believe in his punching power. He believes in his skills. So I think that he might actually step to Isak, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a very, very intriguing fight. A very, very intriguing fight. One dude who got outboxed by Tank and the other one who got robbed against Tank. So very, very interesting fight. It's going to be, I mean, Lamont probably Lamont probably the bigger man when being in comparison to Eastside Cruz, but Eastside Cruz has always found a way to back guys up despite being the significantly smaller man. So that's gonna be an interesting fight. If they make that shit happen, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. And I know exactly why Isak is willing to take that fight because Isak's been avoiding runners. You know what I mean? Isak, not runners. Let me see. Isak avoids boxers. He blatantly avoids boxers. He don't want anybody that has anything to do with the sweet science. If you're not rock'em sock'em, he don't want to rumble you. If you don't stand in front of Isak, he don't want to rumble you. You see what I'm saying? So he probably watching Lamont Roach's fights and he like, oh shit, he's sitting there I guarantee you he watched them fight Tank and he like, yo, I like how he not moving. I like how he's just sitting in front of Tank. Oh man, that's the type of fight that I want. And that's exactly why he's so, invested in making the Lamont Roach fight happen. You know what I'm saying? Because he know Lamont not gonna go anywhere. Lamont gonna try to prove something to Isak, and that's what Isak want because that shit plays into his style. If you play against his style and you make him look stupid, he don't want to fight you. He gonna call you a runner and go about his day. Yeah, that's exact, bro. I guarantee you that's what Isak was thinking. I like the fact that this nigga is not moving. Stand in front of me, let me hit you. You try to hit me. If you hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. That's the type of fights that Eastside Cruz wants because he's a one-dimensional fighter. Makes zero adjustments. Don't probably got like that motherfucker pull up with a toolbox and got like a hammer and a wrench in that motherfucker. That's it. No Allen keys, no nails, nothing. This motherfucker got a hammer and a wrench in that joint. That's it. And they got a big ass toolbox. He opened that bitch up. There's only two things in there. Toolbox emptied in the motherfucker. That's Eastside Cruz. He said, what type of fighter is Lamont? Lamont, to me, based off of what I've seen, he is stepper. You know what I mean? Like, he like to sit. You know what I mean? He got a good high guard. He got good time and good counter punching ability. He like to step. He like to fight. Lamont a dog. But Lamont is skilled too. He got a good jab. He got good hand speed, good combinations, great shot selection. But his mentality, he is stepper. You see that shit all in the Tank fight. Led if Connor with the $2 super chat. He says Pitbull is seeing it as the winner gets the Tank fight. I mean, that may very possibly be true, brother. That may very possibly be true because Eastside Cruz been chasing that fight since he lost the Tank. You feel what I mean? I think I even heard him say that he thought he beat Tank or some shit like that. So, Tank is a big money fight. Isak wants some big money just like any other fighter in the sport. And plus, he feels like he has what it takes to beat Tank. Even though Tank beat him with one hand, he feels like he got what it takes to beat Tank and, all that good stuff. And plus, it's for a good payday. So, of course, he's going to explore that opportunity again. That's pretty – Pitbull made his name off of Tank. Ain't nobody really know who we heard of Isak, but Isak wasn't as popular until he fought Tank. His stock went up crazy after he fought Tank. Stock went up crazy. The Mexicans they love Pitbull, but they really grew to love him after the Tank fight. Wait, is it at 40 or 35? That's a great question, Ralph. I have no idea. It might be at 40, to be honest with you. I think Pitbull campaigned in there because he got that WBC. Don't he got the WBC interim? If that's the case, then yeah, he's not going to leave 140. He on the cusp of winning a world title or fighting for a world title. He might fight Subriel after Subriel rumbled Dalton. Oh shit. Okay. Out of Palace said Roach name came out hot. At the tank. Now Pitbull needs to cool down that name. So you think so? Based off of what you're saying, Al, you think Pitbull beats Lamont? Anonymous says, I'm seeing Benavidez interviews and it sounds like he's taking Yard very seriously. He's got the right mentality. I mean, he should. See, this is the thing about David Benavidez. He's hungry, he's determined, and he has a whole lot of motivation, just to be honest with you, because he began fucked over by the politics. At 168, he wasn't given those opportunities. That made him furious. That just made him want to work harder. 75 looked like he's running into the same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, he can't get a break, but at the same time, him not getting those breaks is what's really fueling him to really make statements. So, you know, if he keeps winning like this, it's going to get to the point where he's going to be undeniable. He's going to be absolutely undeniable, and they're going to have to give him an opportunity. You see what I'm saying? He's been doing everything in his power to try to secure like mandatory title positions. Like, look, he got he was a WBC mandatory. You know, Bivol gave up his belt and fucking Benavidez took the belt, son's done. But I feel like a lot of people are not considering Benavidez a champion at 175 right now, even though he is. And I think that infuriates him. And I think that's why he's been working so hard. I think that's why he's been so dialed in, because he been getting fucked over time and time again. And his stubborn mentality won't allow himself to settle for less. That's what I personally think it is. So, man, I hope I get that David Benavidez interview, bro. I really hope I get it. I think that'll be a great conversation. And I will really tap into David Benavidez mentality, man, for sure. I seen Jose Benavidez Sr. doing interviews, but not David Benavidez. So I got to check into that, man. I got to hit up Karma and see what's going on. But I'm glad he's taking Yard serious, because Yard is definitely a threat. Yard is definitely a threat. He's explosive. He got good punching power. You know what I mean? Good athlete. Experience. He'd have been around the block at this point. What, Kovalev, Better Beef? Like he's a top contender in the division, and he's actually hungry too. He's looking to get an opportunity. He want to prove himself. So you got two hungry fighters in there looking to make a name off each other. Yard getting another title shot. And Yard don't know, and probably in Yard's head, he's like, yo, if I fuck this one up, I'll probably never fight for a world title again. That's a different type of motivation. Benavidez got a fucking interview with Showbiz. Hey, man. You know, Showbiz, kudos to him. You know what I mean? Like, he did what he had to do to, solidify his spot with the zone. And because he with the zone, he got access to them interviews. I don't like him, but I ain't going to shit on him. I mean, if he got the interview, he got the interview. It is what it is. He be wearing them taco hats, so Benavidez probably like him. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'll still watch it because it's Benavidez. But I don't like him, but I ain't gonna hate on him. It is what it is. I already told you how I felt about these guys. You know what I mean? I feel like these networks just pick the guys who popular, not the ones who knowledgeable. I'm telling you, they hire the most I think they hire motherfuckers based off of who's the biggest meat rider. Like, who's the biggest coon? We gonna hire the biggest coon. Where's the biggest coons at? We can't hire. We're not hiring no stand-up individuals. We need the coons. Where's the coons that's gonna follow whatever we say? Tim? Oh yeah, we gonna get Tim. Showbiz? Oh yeah, we need to bring Showbiz. That Showbiz is a hell of a coon there. I already know. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Hopefully, like I said, my dad got Jose Benavidez Sr. number. So maybe I could sneak something in. I don't know. If I got to interview the pop to get to the son, fuck it, I'd do it. That'd be a good one too. I seen Greg actually interview Jose Benavidez Sr., so I might follow up on that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Go787 said the winner of Roach and Cruz should be fighting Matias after. Man, Roach versus Matias is a fight that I probably never would have thought that I'd see. But I don't like Roach in that fight with Matias. I think that'll go out. I think that's a terrible matchup for Roach. I think Roach would fuck around and get stopped by Matias. That's just me. I ain't trying to be biased. I just think the styles don't really match up in his favor. Yeah, Jose Sr. does show love. I'm trying to get David. I'm trying to get all three of my favorite fighters on here. If I could get Bam, Boots, and Benavidez, I'll feel very accomplished. I'm definitely getting the Boots one, though, for sure. Says Navarrete looking to unify with Sugar Nunez after yesterday's fight with Christopher Diaz. What you think about that? Great unification fight. Mexico versus Mexico. You know, top rank. They're gonna be willing to do that shit. I heard Christopher Diaz did well. I think they said he had like a 10-7 round and that fucked him over. But they said outside of that 10-7 that it could have went either way. I don't know if that's true. I didn't watch it. But you know, Christopher Diaz comes from the same part of Puerto Rico as my mom's side of the family. And they're actually pretty good, like friends. And Christopher Diaz done been around the block at this point, man. Fought for world titles multiple times. Fought Shakur. He fought what was his name? Ito, that Japanese dude. He fought him. What was the other fucking? I think he fought. Did he fight Navarrete? He fought a few people. Christopher Diaz done been around the block. Yeah, he did fight Navarrete. I remember that shit. It's not that I could get. I'm not gonna say I could get Boots anytime, but I'm saying like that's something that can happen if I really push for it. Shit, I might do that shit on Friday. I might try to get that. I'm gonna ask Jamil. What's up? Diaz also fought. Yeah. You got Matias in a close fight with Roach? Oh no, you talking about Gary Antoine and Matias? I think, man, I think Matias the only one that has a chance of beating Gary Antoine at 40. I ain't gonna lie. Like out of all the champions, I think Matias got the closest chance. If Matias can't do it, I don't think none of them can. And they ain't like Gary Antoine is like this fucking unstoppable force, but I just think stylistically, he might be overwhelming for like a T.O. or a Hitchens. You know what I'm saying? I think Matias probably be the only one that'll step with him and get to it. Huh? What the fuck is that? I don't even know who that is, bro. Who was this dude you just mentioned? Who is that dude, bro? What are you talking about? Who that? Are you talking about Terence Crawford's coach? What do I think about that Parker Worley fight? First of all, I don't even feel like Joseph Parker should be fighting Fabio. You know what I mean? Joseph Parker, another motherfucker who, just like Benavidez, has been getting fucked over by the politics of boxing. You know, you talking about Joseph Parker who, you know, came into heavyweight, won a world title beating Andy Ruiz. You feel what I'm saying? Came up short against Anthony Joshua when he was at the height of his powers. But you know, since then, like he's took some losses like Joe Joyce and things of that nature. But since then, he's been on a roll, man. You know what I mean? Like he's been on a roll. Like, do we have to run? Like we talking about Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Who a lot of people, including myself, thought was gonna beat Joseph Parker. I thought he was gonna spark him. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes and he beats Julie Zhang. Came off the canvas twice, still beat him. And then you talking about, you know what I mean? He was lined up to fight Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois had to pull out because he caught an illness, like Kid Austin. He fights Martin McCauley. Martin McCauley was out of shape. He didn't belong there with him. He got him the fuck up out of there. So it's like, what else does he need to do? Because he just beat a former world champion and two top contenders in the division back to back. What the fuck does he need to do in order to get a title shot? So Joseph Parker, amongst hardcore boxing fans, it's like the only credible opponent left for Alexander Usyk to fight. But you let this dictator tell it. Usyk and Moses Atama is the fight. That's the fight. Huh? Really? Oh, we're not interested in Joseph Parker. Who's we? Who's we? You? Just say you not interested in the fight. You saying we not? Who's we, nigga? You don't like every time. Like it's not every time. Some, like I said, some fights probably wouldn't have been made if it wasn't for Turkey. But there's also fights that clearly can be made. The benefit of the sport of boxing, but he's solely concerned about how he feels about the fight or what he wants. It's like, bro, are you in the sport? Are you talk about how you want to cater to fans and how you do things for the fans and stuff like that, but that doesn't necessarily come out to be true because you see that boxing fans are calling for a fight and you go against it. We wanted David Benavidez versus the winner of Bivol and Beterbiev. You went against it. You probably could have worked some things where Benavidez and Beterbiev could have fought each other November 22nd. You went against it. We didn't want the trilogy between Bivol and Beterbiev. You still followed through with it because you gave them your word. But Teofimo said that you gave him his word on a certain person. You went against it. So it's like, I don't know, bro. It's a bunch of contradictions and hypocrisy with Turkey Al-Sheikh. You feel what I mean? But the fact that he's not making Parker versus Usyk is disgusting. Or at least attempting to. Why you feel a way about Usyk? Because he beat a couple of your mans? Like, you mad because he sparked Bacoli and you thought Bacoli was going to beat him? Like, what's the problem? Why? What you got against him? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I said all of that, but you're saying what I think about the Parker-Wardley fight. I think Parker beats Wardley. I think that he's the more experienced, seasoned, skilled guy. But Fabio is punching like a son of a bitch, so Parker's going to have to be disciplined defensively in that fight. Because it could be a situation where he's outboxing Wardley and Wardley hits him with a good shot he may not recover from. That's a possibility. I think that, it's the heavyweight division, so technically everybody has a puncher's chance. But for the most, that's what I limit Fabio Wardley to, a puncher's chance. But I think Joseph Parker has the tools necessary to outclass Fabio. But then it's like, if he beats Fabio, then what? Parker deserves a shot. And it's kind of disgusting that he's not getting that opportunity. And then it's like, y'all, and I understood, like, Dubois was a champion. So, of course, it was a unification fight for Usyk to become undisputed again. Yeah, I get it. But it's like, I don't know. Right behind Dubois should have been Parker. Just my personal opinion. But, you let Turkey tell it, that's not the fight. Most of the time, man, Usyk is the fight. Turkey's definitely being petty anonymous. That's not even a debate, in my opinion. Like what else could you call it? You can't say he's being fair. You can't say he's, being logical or practical, whatever you want to call it. He's not. Moses Atama is more deserving than Joseph Parker. What the fuck did? What the fuck? Moses just got the biggest win of his career recently. It was Dillian White. And look, Moses is young. He's up and coming, so I don't expect him to have Parker's resume. But to say that he's more deserving of a fight with Usyk than Joseph Parker, their resumes are night and day. Look at who Parker got wins over. Got some solid wins. You got Andy. You got a young Andy Ruiz on your resume. That was close. Could have went either way, but you got that win. You fought Anthony Joshua. You came up short, but you still fought him. You beat Deontay Wilder. You beat Julie Zhang. You beat Piccoli. You fought Joe Joyce. You came up short, but that's still a... I don't know neither one of those. I don't know that first channel you mentioned, brother, and you definitely knew because you must not know about my history with that second weirdo you mentioned. But it is what it is. I don't know. I don't really care to really collab with anybody. The only people that I would probably collab with, like on a consistent basis, would probably be Greg Hackett or YSM. You know what I mean? Or if Claymore, if you want to come by, it's very limited people that I'll collab with. I mean, I don't really feel like I need to collab with anybody. If I got to build my channel the slow way, it is what it is. I don't even care if that means people surpassing me. I know that they not talking boxing like me, so I could really care less. Yeah, I don't fuck with that weirdo you just mentioned that second name. I don't know the first one, but I don't fuck with that second one. So, you know what I mean? We used to be cool. We not no more. But yeah, man. Yeah, Joseph Parker definitely getting fucked over. It just seemed like Turkey got his guys that he uh he has his favorites, and then he got ones that he really don't fuck with for some apparent reason. I don't know, like maybe Turkey don't fuck with Joseph Parker because Joseph Parker won't let him rub his thigh. You know what I mean? That could be a thing, or maybe Joseph Parker don't want to hold his hand when they walking down. When they walking down to when they walking around Riyadh. I don't know. That could be it. Joseph Parker, he not into that kinky shit. You feel me? Not saying that the ones he cool with is, but I mean maybe Turkey don't like rejection. He don't like being told no. It's like if Turkey trying to rub up on your kneecap or something, he trying to slide up to your thigh. I mean, Joseph probably ain't with that. Like, yo, what the fuck is you doing, nigga? You tripping? You all right? Probably one of those situations. And Turkey didn't like him telling no. So he been throwing Joseph Parker in the dungeon, thinking he got Joseph Parker lined up, and Joseph Parker keep making it out that motherfucker alive. That pisses him off. So he don't want to give Usyk. He don't want to give him the Usyk fight because let's say Joseph Parker somehow beats Usyk. Then Turkey ain't gonna have no choice but to acknowledge that nigga. He probably don't even want to do all that. Shit. Go said Mazuma, all Turkey favorite fighters that been holding hands with him been getting beat on. Shit. I seen that nigga holding Dana White hand the other day, and Dana looked like he ain't want to do all that, but he like, man, fuck it, this nigga paying me, so we cool. What do I think about Naira versus MJ the day after Canelo Crawford? It's a good fight. That's a fight that should have been made, a little, earlier. To be honest with you, but I don't like MJ. I don't like how the way he approached that Stephen Fulton fight. Stephen Fulton was looking for that fight, boy. He could never get it for some reason. You know what I mean? So in my mind, MJ a fucking duck for real. You know what I mean? And then they was all parading, acting like Inoue was ducking him. Old time, he a fucking duck artist himself, what he did to Stephen Fulton. So I'm gonna be rooting for Naira. I hope Naira Inoue beats the dog shit out of him. And then we could see Naira move up to 126. You feel me? Or you know what I mean? Stay at 122 and fight Junto. You know what I mean? So he said, I knew you was gonna say that. So you just threw the alley oop for me to dunk that motherfucker, huh? Raul said Parker might end up like Herkovich, where he's left waiting for his shot so long he loses. Shit, well, at least on the bright side, he had a world title before. But yeah, that would be fucked up. Go said, Mazuma, did you ever watch the Tellez ass open? I did a live reaction to that fight right here on the live, bro. That nigga Tellez was beating the shit out of White. White had the right idea in the beginning. He was jabbing, you know what I mean? He was running Tellez in the shots and he was using his feet, but he made a crucial error in staying on the ropes too long. And that one body shot changed the whole course of the fight. First one hurt White, but he was able to endure it. Then he got hit with a second one. I think that took all the fight out of him. Oh, you talking about Joannis? You talking about Joannis Tellez? I think you're talking about the most recent one. I was able to catch up on that, John. Yeah, Joannis is getting his ass. I was watching that shit. We actually had it up at the gym, so I wasn't like fully focused on it. But I was watching. I was like, damn, he's getting punched on. Yeah, I thought he was talking about Renee Tellez Jerome. I think he got the same last name. That was a bad Jerome, bro. But I don't know if that was just Joanna is just like overwhelmed. I don't know if he just underestimated dude, but he fucked up his opportunity. Now he got to start all the way back from square one. He was really in a good position to be elevated to full status champion too. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. So you talking about yeah, I get it. Forgot about you on this for a little bit. But yeah, White got his ass. Yeah, White got his ass whooped though. Felt bad for him to be honest with you. But hopefully he learned from that. His corner did him dirty. His corner might have took some time off of his career by letting him sit for them additional 3 rounds. Should have stopped it in the 7th or the end of the 7th. But they let him take that additional punishment. When your trainer's a yes man and they don't have your best interest, that shit could get you in a fucked up situation. What's my favorite fight on a November ring card? I'm probably the most excited for shit. Bro, they all good. They all good fights, bro. Sagawa definitely did his thing. Acosta was tough too, man. Acosta was trying his best, but Sagawa was just too much for him. He was landing too clean on Acosta, and Acosta's body language was just terrible. His body wasn't responding right to the shots. And I've been knew Sagawa was a problem. Like I said, in the lead up to that Bruce Carrington fight, I said that was going to be a tough fight for Bruce Carrington, and look how that shit turned out. But back to Yasser Ali's question, because this is a good question. I'm really excited for Abdullah Mason the same notes. I want to see what that young boy do in his first world title shot. Is he going to rise to the occasion? Is he going to crumble? Sam Noakes is dangerous. Everybody keep talking about how he a big puncher. He's strong. So Abdullah got to fight a. He got to fight a smart fight. He definitely got the tools, but can he stay focused? He's historically gotten dropped, just being, sitting in the pocket, staying in that center line, just being a little too greedy, looking for offensive opportunities when he should have been getting out of the way. So Sam Noakes is going to be a good challenge for Abdullah. If he just ices Sam Noakes, then this kid Abdullah is really the truth. You feel me? Like, this kid is more special than I thought. Then, of course, one of my favorite fighters is on the card. Wait, I got two of my favorite fighters on the card? Ain't Bam on the card too? Or I'm tripping? Ain't Bam on that 22nd card? Oh yeah, it's Liddy. Oh man, this is a tough question, brother. This is a unification fight for no, it ain't a unification. Is it? It is a unification. BoxRec don't include a WBA for some reason. Yeah. Yeah, this is a unification fight, but for some reason, BoxRec being petty, act like the WBA don't count. Shit, man. Devin Haney versus Brian Norman. That's a good fucking fight too, bro. Which one am I more excited for? What's my favorite fight? I'm gonna just say Abdullah's, man. Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm excited for Abdullah, bro. What y'all think? I want to know what y'all thinking. What do I think about Tamir Smalls versus Jose Roman fight? That's a good fucking fight. That's a hell of a step up for Tamir, to be honest with you. But they've been stepping Tamir up lately, and he's been doing really well. Tamir could box. He's tall, rangy. He could fucking punch. Jose Roman, I seen how the way he looked against Jalil Hagee. I gotta watch it. I may have to watch that over again, but he definitely he can fight. I think that's that. Let me watch that shit. Let me touch up on that. I ain't see that shit in a minute. The fuck. All right, let's take a look at that, John. They got the full fight on here. First of all, Jose Roman looks tall. Watching Jose Roman right now. He slips and counters pretty well. Good high guard. See, Tamir is he like to go get it. He like to get to the smoke early, especially if he feel like you soft. He gonna try to go ahead and pack you up. And I'm seeing right here with Jose Roman that he kind of shows up and lets. I'm watching Jalil press him, and when Jalil closes the gap, Jose Roman's not really punching with him. And if he is punching, he only throwing like one punch at a time. God damn. Damn, Jose Roman slept bull too. He slept his one bull on a top rank card. Sheesh. But he looked like he got some good movement, good counters. He can move to his left and his right. That's gonna be a good style. That's gonna be a good style matchup. But shit. I can see how they could both pose problems to each other because I don't know if Tamir has ever really fought somebody at this point who's gonna give him the looks that Jose Roman is giving him. Because Roman looked like he got some good boxing ability. He's punching going backwards. He can move. He could go. He can move side to side. Yeah. But if Jose Roman get caught with a good shot from Tamir is a good finisher too. Real interesting fight. I can see this being a solid chess match between the two. But Tamir can't get reckless because Jose places he has good timing and he can make you look dumb if you out there being a little reckless. He look like he know how to play what's that shit called? Matador. Is that what it is? Yeah. Yeah, he definitely got solid footwork. Yes, sir. I like that fight. That's a big step up for Tamir. Tamir hasn't been able to get like the best opposition in the ring yet, but that's his moment. He beats Jose Roman, then his name definitely gonna start buzzing even more. Cause everybody think of him like, oh, that's Boots stablemate and shit like that. He beats Jose Roman, he can start making a way for himself, like a name for himself. That'd be dope. See. Think Canelo and Bud's gonna do good numbers. I think they could have did better with the promotion though. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Like niggas ain't really promote like they was promoting like 2 months ago and then they just had a standstill now. Like Crawford putting out videos on his own channel. Canelo, he hasn't really been doing or saying much. He's really just been getting recognition for like bringing Boots in the camp. But besides that, they're not really promoting it how they should be, in my opinion. Let me see. Fernando Vargas getting beat this weekend by Walsh. Damn. I don't really know what to make of that fight. Yeah, Sir says thoughts on Keyshawn Davis and who he gonna fight. When he gonna fight and who? I don't know. Keyshawn keep talking about he retired. He probably Tyring probably got him in timeout right now. You know, for acting a motherfucking fool. So I don't know. You feel me? On some real shit for embarrassing them like that, making a fool out of himself. He shouldn't fight for the rest of the year. He shouldn't fight for the rest of the year. You feel me? He need to really sit down and think about the shit that he be doing for real. That motherfucker need to be in punishment. Because he act like a motherfucking child. So what you do with children when they don't know how to act? Feel me? Well, sit your ass in time out and go think about what the fuck you did. Come back a better person. Obviously, you know what I mean? If he comes back at 35, that's just gonna make me think he ducked De Los Santos. You feel me? So hopefully his next fight is at 140. And in terms of who he fights, fight another top contender in the division. You know what I mean? If you're not going to be the WBO mandatory, fight somebody significant. You know what I mean? Like a Frank Martin. You know what I mean? A Sandor Martin. How about that? How about that? That'll be a good one. Go ahead and fight Sandor Martin. You want to prove yourself? Tio had trouble with him. Puello had trouble with him. Go ahead and fight Sandor Martin. You beat him. Get you a world title shot off the rip. Sandor Martin, a top contender at 140. Well, that'd be a good fight. That'd be a good fight. Why not? Sandor gonna make you think in that motherfucker. Go ahead and fight Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin been looking for an opportunity. He fought on Top Rank before. It shouldn't be an issue. Can he be a champ at 40? I mean, it depends. Depends on who he going up against. He could probably be the T.O. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who else? It's T.O. Oh, man. It's T.O. Matias, Gary Antoine Hitchens. You know what I mean? I don't know how he'll do with a Hitchens. Probably could beat a T.O. I don't think he beats Antoine. I don't know if he beats Matias. I don't know if that, Keyshawn liked to fight, but I don't know if he liked to fight like that. It takes a certain type of dog to beat somebody to, go, band for band with Sue Burrell. I don't know. But you want to fight somebody, fight a Sandor Martin. Fuck it. Go get it done. Keyshawn versus Gary Antoine Russell. Who you got? I got Antoine. I don't know if Keyshawn can keep up with Antoine's work rate, and I don't know if he can neutralize, Gary Antoine's offense. Shakur versus Gary Antoine. That's a good fight. It's a good fight. But I don't think Shakur could do Gary Antoine how the way he did William Cepeda, though. I don't think so. It'd be a 50-50. You think Xander beats Keyshawn? You talking about Sandor, not Xander. Sandor with an S, not an X. Ha! Southwest Dice said, Bob put that whip on Keyshawn. Equals no fights. Oh, shit. Facts, though. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, Bob done lost money on this motherfucker, man. Done made a embarrassment out of his company. They want to act the fool after the fight. See, can you imagine? Let's say you got a son, right? I got a 2-year-old, right? Let's say my son get grown up. And his whole childhood, you saving up money to give him a solid tuition fund, right? I piled up enough money for this motherfucker to go to college without having to worry about tuition, none of that shit. You take him to school. And you worked all them years for this motherfucker to be slacking with his grades, cutting class, getting into fights. Then he gets expelled from that college. Like, bro, I'll put you in position. And that's how the fuck you gonna repay me? I done put everything, I done put money behind you. I done put so much time into you, and this how you gonna repay me? That's how Bob looking at Keyshawn. This how you gonna repay me? I took you from the gutter and fucking took you from prospect to contender to world champion. And that's how the fuck you repay me? You gonna just be sitting here eating popcorn, laughing, and starting fights backstage because your brother lost. Like, bro, you really think that like you really out of control? Something wrong with you. Like you need to go sit your little emotional ass down somewhere. Go find your dad, nigga. Go heal. Go heal, nigga. That's what you need to do. You got serious issues. You feel me? Like, and you extremely ungrateful. You think niggas just supposed to be cool? How the way you moving? And they put up millions for you. They invested millions into you. That's how the way you repay them. Disgusting. That was like his showcase fight. That was like they went to his hometown. They didn't have to go there. They could have took his ass to Vegas, Florida, New York. They could have took him anywhere. They put him in his hometown. They invited Allen Iverson, Michael Vick. They all came out for you to not fight. Insane. Disgusting work. Solo Taino, he said, "What's your thoughts on Abdullah? Fan or no? I am a big fan of Abdullah Mason." on his baby brother debut. Embarrassing. And then you go and you shit the bed in terms of fucking up your opportunity to fight that night. You got Samson Lukowicz and all of them knowing that you did shit purposely to try to have an advantage. So they pulled out, and I heard they left with a check. So Bob and them had to cut them a check, and they wasn't even fighting. They couldn't even make their return on investment. Ooh-wee. They got every reason to be mad at you, man. They got every reason to be mad at you. And they should take their time calling you stupid ass. No, I don't think that was Keon's debut. It was like, he's still at the very beginning of his career. He think like 3-0 or some shit. He fought another undefeated kid, though. I do know that. Yeah, that was his fourth fight. And he fought a 3-0. But that was actually Keon's second fight in Norfolk. But he's still relatively new to boxing. So that was probably like his television debut. I don't know. But probably not. But whatever. You embarrass yourself regardless. You embarrass yourself regardless. This nigga got serious said, the way he talking egg, bro, he acoustic or some shit. I hope you spelled that wrong intentionally. I hope you ain't say acoustic instead of the other word. Because then that would make you look acoustic, brother. So I hope you spelled that. Hope you spelled that wrong intentionally. I hope you ain't just mixed up the words. Keyshawn bought that dumbass chain, went crazy shortly after. That silver chain, bad luck. Bro, he told y'all, and I remember he did a live, and he said he had gotten he had gotten put in a mental institution. It's like, what? This dude Keyshawn is a constant fucker upper, bro. I think he low key shawty with Nair because Nair, for one, had him rocked in that fight. Then two, he wasn't able to get like a clear, his fight with him got turned into a no contest because he couldn't put the weed down. Then he goes, thinks that his brother's ready for Nair. Oh, I'll beat Nair, so you could beat him too. DB3. And it's like, y'all niggas went, your brother went out sorry, so you don't know how to handle it. It's like, man, I cannot beat this nigga Nair no matter what I do. Let me go act the fool in the locker room. 925 Sterling, that's funny. But yeah, man, Tybring got every right to be sitting Keyshawn dumbass down. That kid is unstable. Something seriously wrong with him. Yeah, Ralph, he called himself the businessman, fucked all the money up in a weekend. Not even over time, but in the weekend. In the first 48, Keyshawn Davis fucks up his career while calling himself the businessman. 48 hours fucked all that up. That was embarrassing. Fired on your day off. But we got any last questions before we get up out of here, man? I'm starting my hard week of work tomorrow, man. Gotta give me some Z's and all that. So we got any last questions? I put the link up and nobody even joined. I'm surprised. I usually be having people trying to come on. My boy Coffee Plant been slipping, bro. Let's see where he is. At least Coffee came through and showed love today. I was kind of concerned. I was thinking about Coffee, like, man, where the fuck Coffee at? At least he came through and chopped it up with us today. Yeah, Ramon, I had a real problem with that. That's what pissed me off more than anything. It was like, You really about to sit here and get into it with motherfuckers, and you got your son there. That's the lit, bro. I done listen. Not that long ago, probably like 3 months ago, I had gotten into a verbal altercation. Not gonna say with who, but I guess it's. I guess you could make the assumption because I was picking my son up from this person. So do the math. I got him in my arms. Well, I got him right here, and this person acting like they ready to crash out, act like they ready to do something, act like they ready to make a scene. I'm like, it's not that serious, bro. And if you think I'm about to make a fool out of myself, well, I got my son in my arms. I don't even want my son. I don't even want my son near that energy. You got it. I don't even want my son to feel that. My son too, so he don't understand what's going on. But I don't even want that within his vicinity. You can do that shit on your own time. But when he with me on my time, he ain't gonna feel nothing but love and positivity. Southwest Dice said Keyshawn shows immaturity. I was young. I was once young. I get it, but I don't. I didn't have millions. I don't even necessarily think it's about the money, my brother. I think it's really, and I don't even think he got millions. To be honest with you, I highly doubt Keyshawn has millions, but he's definitely successful. I think that's one thing that you can say. I think that Keyshawn has some ways about him that he never was that he never took the time to correct. You know what I'm saying? When he was young. So now that he's, a young adult and he got all the pressure of the world behind him because he wasn't able to get rid of those negative qualities that he had, now it's just being put out on full display. This dude Keyshawn has been habitually fucking up ever since that Nair Albright fight. Raised by a single mother, bro. That's the pop. Let's see. And you could hear the pain in Keyshawn's voice when he was like, "Oh, Father, we don't even know what that is." And he said that so passionately, and I'm like, that boy got some pain in him. Definitely got some pain in him, and I don't condone deadbeats at all. I feel real sorry for Keyshawn for experiencing that. But it started to make sense as to why he moved how the way he moved, why he was so emotional and ready to crash out about shit. It was like, oh, you ain't had that father figure in your life to keep your young ass on point. You know what I mean? Because when you got a mother, even if they're a disciplinarian, once you get to a certain age, they really can't tell you shit. But a father, no matter how old you is, you gonna respect your father, and you gonna feel their energy. My father was never like, hard on me or disciplinarian with me or nothing like that. My mom took care of that, but if my pop just had to tell me something once, and I was like, oh, even today, if he say some shit, and he like, yo, you're like, you slipping with this, or you need to do that. Got you. That moment had got too big for him. Hey man, he asked for it. He asked for it. He should have known what came with it because he over there calling out Tank and calling out T.O. and fighting for world titles. Like, that's what you asked for, bro. You gotta know how to deal with it. If you don't know how to deal with it, maybe you're not cut out for this shit. Maybe you do need to retire. Because you would have did that if you would have had that altercation with Nair in Philly. Shit probably wouldn't have turned out for you too well, or any other setting outside of your hometown. Some make me want to say that you did that because you was in your hometown, so you just felt comfortable with moving how the way you was moving. Tank is Tank is very emotional, impulsive. and very unsure of himself, very insecure, in my opinion. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. I appreciate everybody that came through and show love. Y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out. That'd be very much appreciated. We had a great informational live today, some great boxing talk as well, man. I provided early on in the live 3 ways that Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford can defeat each other September 13th. So if you want to come through, if y'all want to rewind and go check that out, please do so, man. Shout out to the 3 super chats today from the boy Led If Connor, man. I appreciate that very much for contributing to the channel. It definitely goes a long way. I'll be on live again tomorrow night to continue cooking up on what's going on in the boxing world, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,100 mark. About to hit that 3,200 mark in due time. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to the nation and the mob. I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful night. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.